Brooks Koepka and Bryson DeChambeau. Yes, Bryson DeChambeau, who ate 8 protein bars a day, gained 35 pounds of muscle and 200 yards to his drive in one COVID quarantine. He's got massive club speed. He swings at it. Golf ball whacker guy has come into full prominence both in the spotlight on TV and on the internet. I had no idea that golf ball whacker guy and super cool dude Brooks Koepka hated each other, but I love it. It's good for golf. In this video that surfaced on the internet of Brooks Koepka being completely thrown into a fuck you state by Bryson DeChambeau's mere appearance is maybe my favorite thing on the internet right now. Go ahead and roll that thing.
Golf Course was asking a lot from you today, Brooks. What were you able to do well and put up that nice number?
Just ball struck my way around this place.
Thanks for asking.
Didn't putt well, but I don't think many guys are going to putt well with this wind. It's very tough. Like I said, I don't know what other guys have said, or I just felt it difficult to read. You know, sometimes I lost my train of thought. Yeah, hearing that bullshit.
Okay, so if you're, he goes fucking Christ at the end of that. So for those that are just listening on Sirius and couldn't watch the video on YouTube, the only thing that happened, it appears, is Bryson DeChambeau and gang in tow walk by. Might have been metal cleats. There were some people tweeting that DeChambeau said, well, you got to start it off on the right line after he said it's going to be. I have not heard that on the video. I've not heard the whole thing. But I love the fact that it is very evident Brooks despises DeChambeau, and I'd assume DeChambeau feels the same way in return. Your thoughts on this, AJ? I think it's great for golf. And by the way, I'm a fan of both of them. Don't know either of them. Fan of both of them.
I'm absolutely a fan of both of them, and I think this is going to be an amazing rivalry that we're going to get to see play out. Like on Sunday, they're paired up, going back and forth. They are. It does seem like their approach to the game is very different. You know, Bryson is like the most technical, scientific guy working on every single little thing, and Brooks is more of a guy just let his instincts take over and let it fly. I mean, he's even admitted to getting bored and losing focus during rounds, like final rounds of PGA events. This guy's getting bored and he's losing his focus. That's how awesome he is and how good he can be. So I think we're seeing the start of something that's going to be awesome for us. These two guys may hate each other, but we get to love sitting there and watching them. I want to see if it ever gets physical.
Well, how about physical would be awesome, because Brooks Koepka was a great hockey player. His dad was in majors, right?
Dick Groat. It was not his father. It was his great-grandfather, I believe. He won a World Series and was the MVP of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Of course. Hey, wow. Back when the Pirates were the Pirates.
Yeah.
Old Dick. They used to say Dick could really put the ball over the yard if he needed.
He could swing the lumber.
Yeah, he could. Dick could really let that thing flow. That was Brooks' grandpa or whatever, and he was a great hockey player and a baseball player, and then an injury happened and he got into golf. Hockey player, though, let's assume he's been in a scrap or 4, 5, maybe. It's like just a part of the culture, I think, of hockey, especially with how old he is. So whenever that was whole thing going on, I'd assume that and he sees this nerd who I would assume that's how he's viewing. This nerd has started lifting a bunch of weights and everything like that. And I don't know if there is personal beef beyond it, but I would assume Brooks is not scared at all of potential if we do got to throw. Hey, if we got Chuck Knox, dude, I ain't worried. I think Brooks is thinking. And Bryson DeChambeau, he's been, eating weights. I don't think he's worried at all. If golf does have a possible threat of physicality, I think more people will tune in on a Sunday if they're paired together. I didn't even think about that, but I'd be glued to the TV, and I'd assume, now let's hope the fans don't say let's go and, rush it. But imagine just people following them around a course with like a gladiator-like atmosphere. That'd be like Tiger and Phil back in the day. If these two continue to build their rivalry, it's good for golf. I would like to know a little bit deeper story on why the hell they hate each other, though.
There is history. So it started in 2019. Brooks was criticizing Bryson of taking way too goddamn long.
Pace of play.
And then Bryson said to Brooks' caddy, tell your boss to come talk to me face to face. And then there was.
So why did he tell somebody else to tell somebody to come face to face?
Bryson did say in an interview, but this was 2019 Bryson. This was a different Bryson, that Brooks would win a fight between those two. But then Brooks was in the body issue, and Bryson made a comment when he was playing a game online, I believe, like, I have abs. Brooks doesn't even have abs.
Oh!
And Brooks replied with a picture, I believe, of his 2 PGA championships and said, like, I have 2 of a 6-pack here. Or something.
Oh, so there is real heat here.
Yeah, and people were calling him Brooksy off the tee when DeChambeau was teeing off this past weekend, and he was like, all right, whoever's doing that, you need to get the hell out of here right now.
Oh!
DeChambeau, yeah.
Wow.
Let's go!
You saw how annoyed Brooks was by when Bryson walked behind. He couldn't even finish his thought or what he was about to say. But I just think when I don't know, man, Brooks is so awesome. Like, I love Brooks's attitude, especially at the end of that when the Golf Channel guy handled it great. He's like, what did he say? Like, okay, now we won't put it on TV. And you're like, I literally don't care. Like, he is so over answering questions about Bryson too, which I'm sure a lot of other players are as well. Like, when Bryson is rolling, that's all probably the first question all these guys get asked. Like, what's it like to witness greatness and Bryson changing the game of golf?
And Brooks is like, has he won anything? No. Okay. So it's cool, but it's not really that cool. And then DeChambeau's, hey, by the way, if he's just stirring the pot, and I don't know who's babyface, who's heel right now, by the way. I don't know who's babyface, who's heel. A lot of people took Brooks' side last night on the internet because it was a hysterical reaction. Just an incredible distaste for somebody creating a beautiful meme in a moment. Everybody likes it. But DeChambeau, is he the babyface now because he's big golf ball whacker guy? I don't know who. By the way, Diggs said that was back when Brooks could win a fight. Mm-hmm. I just want to let everybody know I am steadfast on the hockey player winning the fight.
No, I said that was a different Bryson. I said Bryson commented that he would win or that Brooks would win in a fight at that time.
Oh, did he really say that?
Yeah.
Oh, so maybe that's why he started working out so much. Maybe this whole thing about he wants to hit the ball further because he was so far down and the whole thing wasn't the case.
And then last year, remember when Bryson was yelling at the CBS camera guy or whatever, at that time Brooks then tweeted out the gif of Kenny Powers yelling at the camera.
Oh, yeah.
When it says Kenny Powers steroid allegations or whatever.
Yeah. Hey, that's real beef. All right, I look good scrap out there.
Yeah. All this stuff in golf, like I'm sure so many players hate each other on the tour. They're around each other so much. They despise each other, but it all stays behind the scenes. I think it's awesome that we're getting to see some of it now.
Yeah, because they all have to sit in the same goddamn clubhouses and everything, right? Like
they play together. They're going to be paired with them. Like, you're there the whole week too. They show up on Monday and go to the course, and their first official round isn't till Thursday. So I mean, it's a long week, and they're doing this how many events a year? And
they, because the Indy 500's happening, and they have like drivers meetings. And they all have to go sit in like this one room, and it goes over like, hey, here's the rules, here's this is going on, it's a whole thing. I always found it so interesting that they all have to sit like right next to each other, basically, just like be cool with each other. They walk out onto the stage together, and I'm like, does anybody? And they're like, no, well, we have to take care of each other on the track or whatever. In golf, they don't have to take care of each other at all.
No.
And it's very much a one-person sport. Like, hey, this is me versus the course versus everybody else. There probably is a bunch of those petty beefs in there. I love it. Hey, I love that.
They got to partner them up for the next time they're both golfing in the same event.
Somebody's a when's the next? It's not for like another month.
U.S. Open's next.
Sometime in June.
Yeah, they definitely need to play together. And I wonder if after seeing this, because if he was walking past, he might not have seen his reaction. I wonder if Bryson turns it up a little bit. He's like, oh, if I'm getting under his skin like this, I'm just going to be the biggest dickhead for the next,
But that's everybody, by the way. Rent free.
Yeah,
who put this out? Hey, who put the video out, and why did it come out now? This must have happened on Friday or Saturday, but it wasn't Sunday that this interview took place.
We gave a shout out to Art_Sellers, who's probably in the production.
It's a real camera. Yeah, it's a real camera, though. He's not using a phone.
Yeah, probably in the production department of the Golf Channel.
Look at his face right there. Look at Brooks's face. That's what's my favorite.
So Art Sellers didn't tweet this out. Someone else tweeted it out and gave him the hat tip. But this thing had 7 million views this morning. And it just came out yesterday.
Yeah, it had. I think when it got sent into the group last night, it had 5,000 views.
How about the growth on that? Everybody's learning about this. I didn't know they had real beef.
No.
I mean, Diggs, that's a Rolodex of interactions that
Hold up an article to make sure I didn't miss anything.
Thank you, Diggs.
Well, Brooks is awesome. Like, Brooks has publicly talked about guys that are way too slow before. Like, he really is upset with pace of play. I don't think anyone's ever going to disagree with him. Like, no, these guys need to take 30 minutes before each shot.
We were at a PGA tournament with JD down there in West Virginia, John Daly, and he was paired with somebody, that was a slow golfer.
Oh, yeah.
And listening to people talk about in the golf community, talk about the slow, that is a massive deal to a lot of golfers. It's like,